This exhibit is called Tutankhamun, the Golden King and the Great Pharaohs. It shows the splendor of ancient Egypt through artworks and jewelry, as well as ordinary objects like this bed. Visitors like Ayana feel drawn to the world of these ancient people.
3,000 years ago, and I'm still able to see things that they touched and felt and interacted with. It's just amazing.
King Tut rested in obscurity until British archaeologist Howard Carter found his tomb in 1922, more than 3,000 years after his death. But since then, he has become an international superstar, thanks in part to films of the National Geographic Society, which was a sponsor of this event. Catherine Keene, the Society's director of traveling exhibitions, says the world knows Tut because his tomb was mostly intact when Carter found it.
There are much larger tombs and burial sites and much more prominent pharaohs than King Tut. But all of those tombs had been looted or otherwise disturbed over time.
Keene says the National Geographic Society has been following Tut ever since.
And new discoveries are constantly being made in Egypt, so we will be there as long as there are stories to tell.
The stories in this exhibit include recent DNA samples from Tut's mummy, genetically linking him to Egyptian royals who preceded him, and tests showing an infection in a broken leg that might have caused his death at the age of 19. Egypt is building a huge new museum to house its ancient treasures, and some observers fear a new government may be less willing to allow treasures like these to leave the country again. Mark Locke is a vice president with Arts and Exhibitions International, the company that organized this exhibit. He's more optimistic.
My sense is that Egypt will always want to share their history with the world, and through exhibitions they will do that.
This show is also raking in money for Egypt, something the country needs to maintain its treasures at home. Abdelhamid Marouf is an official with Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities.
Because you use this exhibition everywhere in the world to gain the money for the conservation and preservation of our monuments.
What exhibitions have also done is bring this ancient culture to the U.S. heartland, where people might not have been able otherwise to see such treasures.
It's been spectacular, not only the reception of the exhibition, but how people have been affected, and that's been a joy of ours to be part of that.
After it leaves Houston next April, the exhibition moves to its final U.S. stop in Seattle. Greg Flakus, VOA News, Houston.